In Wyoming may give Sanders momentum heading into bigger states, but it won't put much of a dent in the delegate race. Hillary Clinton has 1,749 delegates compared to Sanders' 1,061. Most importantly, Clinton has 469 superdelegates. Those delegates are free to back whomever they choose.
For more on New York, Real Clear Politics reporter, Empire State native Caitlin Huey-Burns joins us from our New York studios. Nice to see you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you for having me, Leland.
You know, as we heard from Brian Yennis, you've got the Bernie campaign really pushing this momentum narrative. Hey, he's doing well. He's picking things up. Won a number of the last contests. How real is that, and is it possible to overcome the Clinton, what was a Clinton juggernaut there in New York?
Well, I do think that Sanders faces an uphill battle in New York. Remember, both Sanders and Clinton are claiming New York as their home states, really. And it's really telling, actually, that the Clinton campaign is spending so much time in New York. I mean, when we started this campaign, it would have been hard to imagine Hillary Clinton facing a challenge in New York, a state that she represented for a long time in the Senate. But here we are. Bernie Sanders has proved to be a fierce competitor. He's raised a lot of money. He is behind in the delegate count and way behind in the superdelegate count, but the fact is that he is remaining in this race and causing Hillary Clinton to continue campaigning on. So I think a loss for Clinton in New York would be a huge blow to her campaign. She could still continue on, but losing it would be very problematic for her in terms of momentum and just overall kind of moral sanity.
Yeah, her campaign has kept having to explain away all these losses. Okay, we're going to sew it up in February, then March, now April. We'll have to see if they have to push that back to May. Look at the Republican side in New York. Interesting when you talk about both Bernie and Mrs. Clinton claiming New York as home. Donald Trump obviously claims New York as home. Look at the polling there. Donald Trump, 52%, John Kasich, 25%, Ted Cruz at 17%, and we also saw Ted Cruz get heckled there in New York. Does this stack up as sort of an unsurmountable lead for Trump?
Well, we're moving into a phase in the Republican campaign where the focus is less on winning states outright and more on that delegate count. And so someone like Ted Cruz is not hoping to win New York outright, but the way that the delegates are awarded in New York, there are 14 awarded statewide and then by congressional district. So Ted Cruz and John Kasich aren't treating New York as a winner-take-all, but actually a contest of 27 little primaries. So Ted Cruz is really hoping to prevent Donald Trump from getting the necessary delegates needed to secure the nomination outright. So by focusing on certain congressional districts where if you win 50%, over 50% of the vote in these districts, you win 3 delegates apiece. So Ted Cruz will be able to, if he's successful, pull away delegates from Donald Trump. John Kasich is looking to do the same. So that's why we've seen them campaigning in places like the Bronx and Brooklyn. Ted Cruz was courting the Jewish community, for example, hoping to peel away any delegate that he can.
Being able to do that, though, requires a lot of organization. And the one knock on the Trump campaign, among a few, has been that they're just not that organized. They just don't understand politics in the way that the Cruz campaign does. Are we seeing that play out in New York, or is Trump catching up in terms of political savviness?
You know, that's a great point, Leland, and I will say that I think Donald Trump has shown that New York, he could have some vulnerabilities there. Remember, this week he cleared his schedule to really focus on his home state of New York, and he's also given his delegate hunter, Paul Manafort, as we know, a greater role in the campaign, which shows the campaign needs to focus on getting these delegates. If Donald Trump isn't able to win a majority, really, of a large majority of the delegates in New York, it becomes more difficult for him to get that 1237 magic number. And that's why Ted Cruz and John Kasich are competing heavily here.
Yeah, and then the race moves on to California for the Republicans. Caitlin Huey-Burns from Real Clear Politics. Appreciate your time. Thanks.